Welcome to The Explainer. Let's get right into it, shall we? Today we're unpacking a truly profound piece of writing by Uluomi Ola David titled Musings with Best Wishes. Now at first glance, this might look like a simple, nice little poem, but it's actually a razor-sharp reflection on societal expectations versus deep, personal fulfillment. She takes the absolute most common things we're all told to strive for, and she just completely turns them on their head. It's really a masterful exploration of what we think we want versus what our souls actually require to thrive.
I mean, you know the one. We've all seen that classic, everyday best wishes card. You get them at birthdays, graduations, New Year's. It's polite, it's totally expected, and honestly, we rarely think twice about it. But Oluyomi Ola David uses this incredibly familiar cultural touchstone as her starting point. She takes this completely ordinary greeting and brilliantly subverts it, basically using it as a mirror to examine just how shallow the things society typically wishes for us really are. So let's actually start decoding these best wishes and see what she's getting at.
Usually, society's default wishes for us are things like prosperity and wealth. The material things we're constantly told equate to a good life. But when she's wished prosperity, her response is, all I want is poverty of spirit. When she's wished wealth, she counters with, all I need is fruit. She is completely rejecting the mere accumulation of stuff in favor of producing something lasting and organic. Fruit implies cultivation, right? It implies growth and actually providing nourishment for others rather than just hoarding wealth for herself.
I actually want to pause here for a second to just let this specific concept breathe. Poverty of spirit. Why on earth would anyone desire that over prosperity? Well, in her worldview, she recognizes the immense philosophical and spiritual weight of this state. Poverty of spirit isn't about financial destitution at all. It's about a deep, fundamental humility. It's an acknowledgement that she doesn't have all the answers, which keeps her teachable, open, and reliant on a higher source. She vastly prefers this grounded, humble state over the dangerous arrogance that so often accompanies standard material prosperity.
And that naturally leads us to shifting from the purely material into true meaning.
This next contrast brilliantly illustrates the difference between noisy upward mobility and quiet internal growth. Society wishes her greater heights and merrymaking, climbing the corporate ladder, being seen at the right parties, living loudly. But her response is just so intentional. She desires greater depth and reflection. She deliberately rejects that superficial upward climb. She knows that roots literally have to grow deep into the soil before a tree can withstand a storm. Merrymaking is fleeting, right? But reflection, that builds the foundation of a profoundly meaningful life.
So we really have to start rethinking success and wisdom entirely.
We are so conditioned to view victory and success as these finite finish lines, their endpoints. But instead, she values direction and a presence. She values the compass over the trophy. She would much rather know she is walking on the right path, having direction, than achieve a completely hollow victory. And instead of the loud, visible applause that comes with traditional success, she desires the quiet, grounding nature of simply being a presence.
Let's slowly contemplate the power of that exact phrase for a moment. A presence. In a fast-paced, hyper-connected world where everybody is practically shouting to be seen as successful, she just wants to be a presence. This speaks to such a quiet confidence. It means being fully engaged in the room, deeply connected with the people around her, and carrying a weight of character that doesn't ever need to announce itself. It's just a brilliant display of her intentionality.
Continuing with her reframing, she actively elevates what society wishes for her. People wish her healing and wisdom, and hey, those are good things, right? But she pushes it further. She doesn't just want the symptom fixed with a little healing, she desires complete wholeness. And instead of just gathering surface-level wisdom or cleverness, she seeks reverential fear. This is a foundational, awe-inspired respect for the divine. She's constantly shifting from quick fixes to ultimate root-level completeness.
And here is her final and arguably most striking contrast. The world wishes her speed. Think about how much our society values getting there first, hustling, moving fast, breaking things. But her chosen trade-off, accuracy. She chooses deliberate, careful precision. She knows that running incredibly fast in the wrong direction literally gets you nowhere. She would far rather take her time and hit the mark perfectly.
To really ground this, let's take a look at the policymaker's mindset. Because to fully appreciate these poetic musings, we have to shift our narrative to her professional identity. Oluyomi Ola David isn't just writing poetry in a vacuum here. She is an author and a strategist. It's absolutely critical to anchor these profound insights to her identity.
because her desire for things like accuracy and direction directly fuels the heavy-hitting work she does on a daily basis. Looking at her bio, we see a totally fascinating profile. She proudly identifies as a Nigerian with a deep love for people. She operates on a massive global scale, focusing on development and transformation. She generates real solutions, she influences policy, and she provides clarity. And undergirding all of this is her driving faith. She explicitly states that God owns the universe and is the wheel within her wheels. Suddenly, her desire for reverential fear and poverty of spirit makes perfect sense, doesn't it? These aren't just pretty poetic words, they are the literal guiding principles of a woman shaping global policy.
So, what we are really looking at here is a bridge between the artist and the strategist. Her poetic desires, like wanting accuracy when pushed for speed or seeking direction over a quick victory, these are the exact inner values that make her such an effective policy influencer. A good policymaker absolutely cannot be swayed by the loud demands for quick merrymaking successes. She has to have the depth, the reflection, and the accuracy to create solutions that actually work for real people in the real world. Which brings us to the core of all this, the ultimate trade-off.
Looking at the overarching themes of her piece, we really see the cohesive brilliance of her mindset all mapped out. When it comes to the payoff, society pushes wealth, but her alternate choice is fruit. Regarding the action, society demands speed and merrymaking. She purposefully trades that off for reflection and accuracy. And for the ultimate goal, while the world is busy cheering for victory and success, her deep internal trade-off is choosing direction and becoming a presence. She looks at all the glittering loud offers of society and consistently, politely, trades them in for things of eternal substance.
Oluyomi Oladavid has left us with a phenomenal blueprint for experiential learning and internal growth. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to turn her profound trade-offs back over to you. The next time you receive best wishes from society to rush, to achieve, and to endlessly acquire, what will your ultimate trade-off be? When the world inevitably wishes you speed, will you have the courage to choose accuracy?